From AccuWeather.com, this is AccuWeather Daily, a brief host-read article. It's weather news in a nutshell. As a major storm moves in to blast areas from Washington to Oregon and Northern California with torrential rain, heavy mountain snow, and high winds this week, many may be hearing the term bomb cyclone. You may have heard or read about a bomb cyclone or a storm system undergoing bombogenesis. But what exactly do those weather terms mean? In simple terms, bombogenesis, a term used by meteorologists, is a storm or low-pressure area that undergoes rapid strengthening over a 24-hour period. The vast majority of such storms occur over the ocean. The storm can be tropical or non-tropical in nature. The term bombogenesis comes from the merging of two words, bomb and cyclogenesis. All storms are cyclones, and genesis means creation or beginning. In this case, bomb refers to explosive development, and altogether the term means explosive storm strengthening. A cyclone, or a non-tropical storm or hurricane, is essentially a giant rising column of air that spins counterclockwise over the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, they spin clockwise. When air rises, it produces a vacuum effect that results in lower atmospheric pressure. When a storm strengthens, the column of air rises at an increasing rate as the pressure within the storm lowers. AccuWeather Chief Meteorologist Jonathan Porter said that storms always have lower atmospheric pressure. But in this case, the atmospheric pressure is lowering very quickly as the storm system intensifies. The barometric pressure will greatly reduce very quickly. Average storms in the winter have a low barometric pressure reading of 29.53 inches of mercury. Some of the most intense storms may have a barometric pressure below 29 inches. But it's not the lowest pressure that defines bombogenesis, but how quickly the pressure within the storm plummets. When the barometric pressure falls at least 71/100ths of an inch of mercury in 24 hours, a storm has undergone bombogenesis. Now, for example, a weak storm that began with a barometric pressure of 29.98 and ended up with a barometric pressure of 29.27 inches in 24 hours underwent bombogenesis. A few examples that you may remember: the superstorm of 1993, or the so-called storm of the century from March 12th to the 13th. It's a prime example of a storm that underwent bombogenesis. The storm strengthened from 29.41 inches to 28.45 inches, or nearly 1 inch in 24 hours. Much of this strengthening occurred over land. Other examples of storms that underwent bombogenesis were Hurricane Charlie back in 2004, Hurricane Wilma in 2005, the blizzard of 2015, the Bering Sea storm of December 2015, Storm Dennis, which impacted the UK on February 14th of 2020, and the storms that hit the northeastern and western U.S. in late October of 2021. Storms that undergo bombogenesis are among the most violent weather systems that affect a broad area. This is because the rapidly ascending air near the center of the storm must be replaced by air surrounding the storm. As these winds move toward the center of the storm at high speed, property damage can occur, trees may be blown over, and the power may go out. The western North Atlantic is one favored area for storms to undergo bombogenesis. This is a region where cold air from North America collides with warm air over the Atlantic Ocean. Warm waters of the Gulf Stream may also provide a boost in a festering storm. As a result, some nor'easters may undergo bombogenesis. The intense winds often create massive seas and may cause significant beach erosion. Very heavy rain and possibly snow may fall in the path of a storm undergoing bombogenesis. Precipitation rate is produced from the rising column of air, and when air rises, it cools and moisture condenses to form clouds and rain or snow. The faster the air rises and cools, the heavier the precipitation. All right, turning our focus now to the Gulf of Mexico. While the U.S. is likely to dodge Tropical Storm Sara's worst, what's left of this storm over the Gulf of Mexico will be just enough to trigger drenching rain and localized urban flooding in part of the southeast into midweek. This will be accompanied by a cold front that will bring the chilliest air of the season so far across the southeast. The trip across Central America and southeastern Mexico all but shredded Sara this past weekend. Feet of rain poured down in Honduras, triggering deadly flash flooding and mudslides that destroyed homes and left tens of thousands seeking shelter. A batch of showers and thunderstorms is all that remains of Sara, but that moisture is contributing to torrential downpours along the Gulf Coast of the U.S. and fueling soaking rain over the interior southeast. Cool waters compared to a few weeks ago over the northern Gulf of Mexico will prevent tropical storm regeneration. Torrential downpours will shift eastward and southward over the Florida peninsula today as the old center of tropical rainstorm Sara nears the coast. In some cases, such as over the interior southeast, the rain is welcome due to prevailing dry conditions since Helene's wrath back in late September. The rain will help to ease the risk of brush fires. For example, before Tuesday, there had only been about an inch of rain around Atlanta since September 28th, 18% of the historical average of around 6 inches. Rainfall in Mobile, Alabama, has only been about one-third of the historical average since the official start of fall. However, in a few cases, such as in the urban areas and in poor drainage spots on the highways, enough rain can pour down quickly and lead to some flooding. Even though the rain will taper down before reaching Tampa, there could still be enough downpours to lead to brief street flooding. Much of the rain that fell since late September, about 17 inches, was due to Hurricane Milton. Any gusty winds associated with Sara will generally be confined to the immediate coast and may be accompanied by thunderstorms. Problems due to winds with Sara are likely to be limited. A cold front assisting with Sara's showers and thunderstorms will continue to move along and is forecast to clear South Florida and the Keys by later Thursday. In the front's wake, the chilliest air of the season so far will sweep across the southeastern states. Gusty winds will add to the chill and can lead to frosts at night for the second half of the week. Over the Florida peninsula, much lower humidity is in store after what has been a warm and humid autumn. This sweep of chilly air will effectively end tropical threats on the U.S. mainland for the remainder of the hurricane season. That's all for now. You can find more stories and regional forecasts at AccuWeather.com, and for your local forecast at your fingertips, download the AccuWeather app. Enjoy the rest of your day, be safe, and I'll be back tomorrow with more from AccuWeather.